Good afternoon.
Welcome back.
You can take it away. Welcome back. And we'll be taking of yours back to Narok.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely, where a section of leaders from that particular area are currently commenting on the planned Mau evictions. So let's cross over there and listen to what Oleson Kok is currently saying.
How residents in Narok County, whether they are Kalenjin or Maasai or Kikuyus or Kisis, all of us, all of them are under our leadership as the leaders of Narok, and we can speak on their behalf. We don't need any support from anybody else, any Dick and Tom, running from Kericho. Why?
Very good.
All right, of course, that is in Narok, where a section of leaders are addressing on the phase 2 of Mau evictions that are set to happen this week or next week. Well, only time will tell. And of course, as soon as we have a development on that particular story, we'll be following it up right here, maybe tomorrow on the Daily Brief. For now,
very true.
It's time to get to your feedback and see what you've been saying regarding the topics of the day. And of course, the stories that have been making headlines. And let's get right to it and see what you've been saying on hashtag K24 Daily Brief. That's where you can find us. Remember, at K24 TV is our social media handle on Twitter, and let's get to your tweets at Pastor Evan Live. Of course, that is in line with the xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Who says, South Africa, why? It will never be okay for us to kill each other. It will never be okay to burn and bludge on people to death because we fail to have a conversation. My heart is broken. We must stop. Indeed. Moving on, we've got at Slap D, who says, Dear South Africa, no African is a foreigner in African land. Please do the right thing. Now, of course, that is in line with the chaos that has been erupting in Johannesburg, where we've seen Nigerian shops being destructed. And of course, this is to do with vandalism of Nigerian shops, where Nigerian government has also tweeted on the same and saying that Nigerians are being attacked and being targeted specifically. Moving on, Ndela says, if Mandela rise from the dead right now, he would cry himself back to death. Really, South Africa, is this what Madiba fought for? For you to kill fellow Africans? Such a shame. This is worse. Very strong sentiments there echoed by Ndela. We've got at Simon D, who says, what happened to Ubuntu? Why are you treating people so inhumanely? In ways your struggle icons, the likes of Nelson Mandela fought against. And of course, this is to do with what Nelson Mandela was all about, you know, what he's preaching, what he fought for rather, and what is happening in South Africa is a total contrast. Moving on, we've got Martin Mwangi, who's saying Africa will never rise up if all we do is burn each other to the ground. Hashtag xenophobia. Now, this is of course something that has been said time and again, that we need to be united as Africans, and this is something that is of high concern right now in South Africa. Moving on, at Wafula.waf, who's talking about a topic closer to home, that is the Mau forest evictions, who says the Mau can be preserved by planting millions of trees, enforcing laws against logging, environmental education, and incorporating local communities into organizations working to preserve the Mau. Moving on, we've got another tweet, and that is still on the Mau forest from Njoroge. This might be Samuel's brother, but we're still to find out, who says Mau eviction shouldn't be an option. Very, very wisely said. We've got Mary Florence, who says, I would want to see Mau forest restored, but I'm curious if current Mau evictions are not political. And I guess that is something that everyone has been saying in line with the Mau forest evictions, that they would want to see the Mau forest restored. But again, really, are these evictions based on political agendas? Moving on, at DK Kibet Koech, who says Mau evictions might be political too for some guys. Restoration of the forest is crucial. How will the kids do their exams? What happened to 100% transition? And he's raised a very important point over there, because we've seen more than 12 schools being closed, and of course we'll definitely be talking more about the Mau forest evictions. We've got at Bramwell_KN who says, #Mau evictions is not a bad thing, but how matters are being handled. It's like people in Mau are not Kenyans. Now, we've seen this time and again with phase 1 as well of the Mau evictions, where people weren't resettled immediately. There were no alternate means of settlement, and of course compensation was not given immediately. So that's exactly what the concern was regarding the Mau evictions, and we'll definitely be taking you through your feedback later on. For now, we're taking you through the courts, Samuel, and you will be telling us what exactly is happening in the courts right now.
We've already done that in as far as the courts are concerned. Remember, we've had quite a lot coming forth from this particular venue, and key among those particular stories that have been coming from the court today is that we've had Wendy Wine's manager, that is Joe Mwangi. He's currently arraigned at the Milimani Law Court. Remember, we've also had that divorce case pitting Meru Senator Mithika Linturi against Chief of Staff in the Office of the Deputy President, that is Marianne Kitani, still ongoing today. Remember also that missing Dutch tycoon,
Top
Cohen,
indeed,
the suspects that have been, caught in connection with his disappearance.
Including his wife.
Including his wife, who was detained for 12 more days yesterday. Indeed. We expect to see more coming forth as far as that particular story is concerned. But our news diary right here at K24 remains to look as very promising as our subsequent bulletins keep progressing, and some of the stories that we shall give priority to include a Moi Girls' School dormitory, where Deputy President William Ruto will today preside over the official opening of a new dormitory block at Moi Girls' School, Nairobi. The new facility was constructed following a deadly fire tragedy at the school in September 2017 that left 10 girls dead. Incidentally, the school is located within a Kibra constituency, of which Jubilee Party last night unveiled football star McDonald Mariga as its candidate for the November's parliamentary by-election.
And of course, moving on to tourism matters, where Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala will today give a briefing on the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. The latest site summit held in Geneva, Switzerland, came up with a raft of measures on the protection of endangered species, and Kenya is expected to give a way forward on the same matter.
Government internships are expected to kick off today, courtesy of the 3,000 positions that are supposed to be filled. And of course, government ministries and departments and agencies begin the interviews today and will continue for the next 1 week. Public Service Commission Chairperson Stephen Njoroge will launch, or has already launched, the exercise at Rift Valley Institute of Science and Technology in Nakuru, and the commission has dispatched several teams led by commissioners to various centers across the country to interview over 8,000 shortlisted candidates who applied for the positions advertised in July this year. And of course, this particular event will be opened officially at exactly 2 p.m.
And of course, so you need to be watching out for our subsequent bulletins for that particular event. Moving on, where Third Way Alliance Party leader Ekuru Okot will this morning make a presentation on the Punguza Mizigo referendum bill to the County Assembly of Turkana. The bill, which is yet to be debated by any of the 47 County Assembly, requires the support of at least 24 counties for it to sail through to the next stage. And we were reliably informed by our reporter, that is Timothy Simwa, that Eldoret and Uasin Gishu County rather is in support of it.
That's true. And also happening today in the afternoon is Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha presiding over the launch of the new state-of-the-art Britam Leadership and Innovation Center. Now, the facility is located at Britam Center in Upper Hill, Nairobi, which is touted as the tallest building in Kenya.
And of course, that is pretty much what is dominated in our news diary for the day. So we'll definitely be giving you more information on what to expect throughout the day as we come to a close later on right now on the Daily Brief, where we've been covering a myriad of topics, Samuel. It has been quite an eventful day.
That's true.
The beehive of activities happening here at the Daily Brief. And we've been interacting with you right here on the hashtag K24 Daily Brief as well. So thank you for all your feedback and interaction. Of course, remember the Twitter handle is at K24 TV. You can also find us on Facebook at K24 TV.
Absolutely. And before we wrap it up, let's take you to Kisumu and bring in our reporter Baraka Karama, who will be joining us with an update from Kisumu County. Remember, earlier on, he did tell us that a lot will be happening from that particular region. Key among the stories that he was giving priority to as of 10 a.m. this morning included, some county officials who were suspended by the county governor of their lack of degrees, and therefore the governor could not understand how they've been, holding to their respective
and
dockets.
how they've been hired in the first place.
Exactly. So right about now, Baraka could have a different update for us. So let's cross over to Kisumu and listen into what he has for us as of now. Baraka.
Samuel, remember earlier while I was issuing my brief, I mentioned to you that the Kenya National Union of Nurses officials in Kisumu were supposed to present a strike notice to the county government of Kisumu following the development that, of course, they say were not friendly. Remember, the county government of Kisumu had promised to pay their dues after the call of the workers' parade. And right now, I can confirm that they've already issued that strike notice. And just allow me to engage the union officials just to give us a brief on the latest move so far. Welcome. Let's come. Okay, kindly, as one of the officials of the Nurses Union, what is the latest news? Because we saw you at the county government, of course, issuing a strike notice.
Yes, thank you very much, Bwana Baraka. The issue is that the county workers of Kisumu have exhausted all the avenues that could bring solution to the issues that they have with the county government, the pending issues. Like the worst one is salary payments, which have delayed, and I can categorically say that salary for July has not been paid to all Kisumu county workers. The county government made a local arrangement with the local banks to pay the July salary through overdraft. But unfortunately, not all the banks which are pay points for the health for the workers are holding any account with the county government. So it is very hard and difficult for any bank that has no account with the county government to give overdraft.
Okay, so you've issued the strike notice you've issued today. When is it likely to start?
We have issued a 7 days strike notice to the county government of Kisumu, which is to expire on 10th midnight. So that means on 10th midnight, all the services in Kisumu county government will come to a stop and the workers will proceed on a strike. Because that is the provided for period to give a strike notice. We had a salary parade which started on 13th and stopped last week after the county government had shown some commitments of paying salaries. But unfortunately, even the banks that paid the salaries again chopped off all the net salaries and used them to pay or repay the bank loans which have not been paid by the county government for the last 4 months. So as it is now, it's like no county government worker has been paid any salary, because the few who are paid have been chopped off to pay for the loans, and the rest have not been paid for the banks which were requested to give through an overdraft.
How many health institutions will be affected in this particular strike, if at all it comes to pass?
We have around 380 health institutions which will be affected. And I want to also mention that this is not a nurses strike, not a health worker strike. It is all Kisumu employees strike. All the Kisumu County government workers are going to commence their strike on 10th. So it is not only about the nurses, not only about the doctors, not only about the clinical officers, it is all health workers and all county employees. Yes.
The COG chairman, Wycliffe Oparanya, did issue a notice that they will shut down the county services come September the 16th. You've also said that you're going to down your tools. Do you think the services of the county will be completely paralyzed?
As I've mentioned before, the county, the services in the county government of Kisumu will stand paralyzed as from 10th midnight. And we want to tell Governor Oparanya that he should not labor himself to come and start the services in Kisumu, because by 10th we shall have paralyzed the services and shut down the county before he shuts down the counties on 16th. And it is good. It is the governors, the Council of Governors itself that has pronounced a strike notice to Kenyans. Yes. But in this case, we are pronouncing a strike notice to Kisumu County government before the Kenyan county strike starts that has been announced by Governor Oparanya. So from that date, we shall not have any services running up until the county government of Kisumu shall have paid all the salaries in full. That is to say they have to pay all the bank loans. They have to remit all the statutory deductions. Right now, our members, the county workers, are not enjoying even the NHIF services just because the county has failed to remit money for NHIF. So until they pay such monies is when we shall go back to work. We also have the issues of promotions and redesignation, which were to begin by 1st of July. This has not been that up to date, and we signed with them an agreement. So we are saying we are not going to sign any other agreement. What we want to see is implementation. What we want to see is actions. Without actions on payment of salaries, without action on remission of deductions, statutory deductions and bank loans, without action on promotions and redesignations, we are going to stay out even for 1 year.
Okay. You called off the parade last week, and of course we've done a spot check in various health facilities. Most of the departments are still locked. So what is the way forward?
The reason for most of the departments in our facilities being locked still is that most of the workers, most of the employees, most of the health workers there have not received their July salary. And today we are talking about September 3rd. July salary has not been paid. These people are mothers, they are fathers, they have children, they are family heads who have to buy food for their children, who have to pay rents for the houses they live, who have to take the children to school. They are now stranded. They can't feed themselves. They can't feed the children. They can't work. And we want to declare that any health facility in Kisumu County government is a health risk to the citizens who are going for health services there. Because the health workers who are working there cannot concentrate when they are stressed by issues of fee, buying food and rents. They cannot concentrate and give the right treatment, give the right diagnosis, give the right medication, do the right laboratory tests, and give the right diagnosis. It is a health hazard both to the citizens who are seeking health services and even to us, the workers. Because when I'm stressed, the landlord is calling me, the house has been locked, my children are not eating, some have not gone to school. I cannot concentrate. I will likely prick myself with the needle that I've used to prick a patient. So it is a health hazard to the citizens and to us as health workers.
Well, Samuel, you've heard from the officials of the county government union, of course, saying that come 10th of this month, they are going to shut down the services in this particular county, saying that the county government has of course not lived to its promise of paying the workers. Remember, we earlier on did a spot check in various health facilities, and of course it was quite disappointing. Most of the wards were empty after the health workers down to their tools, demanding their salaries from the county government. So we're just waiting to see the reaction and the rejoinder of the county government of Kisumu in relation to the latest notice that was served to them today by the union officials, who are saying that come 10th this month, there will be no work in all the facilities and, of course, the county government departments across this expansive county of Kisumu. So we'll be seeking a rejoinder from the county government officials just to hear what they have to say in relation to this latest development by the union officials. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Baraka Karama, for that update from, of course, it is a developing story, so we'll definitely be getting more details on that in our subsequent bulletins.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching the Daily Brief today, even as we end the show by giving you a brief highlight.